Okay, I am reading Tampa by Alissa Nutting, and I got this from the library. So Tampa follows, I'm not sure where to look. I don't have my glasses on. This is chapter 1 of Tampa. And our main character is named Celeste Price. And she's a school teacher. And this is her describing her husband. My real problem with Ford is actually his age. Ford, like the husbands of most women who marry for money, is far too old. Since I'm 26 myself, it's true that he and I are close peers, but 31 is roughly 17 years past my window of sexual interest. So, what's the math on that? He's 31, and that's 17 years past the interest. So that's, so Celeste Price likes 14-year-olds. That's what we're working with here. She's a pedophile. Wish I knew where my glasses were. The downside about having poor vision is when you lose your glasses, you can't see to find them. All I could think about were the boys I'd soon be teaching. Whether or not it's the cause, I blame my very first time at 14 years old in Evan Keller's basement for imprinting me with a fixed map of arousal. My memory of the event still flows through my mind in animated technicolor. I was slightly taller than Evan in a way that made me feel half god to his mortal. Every time we made out, I had to bend down to reach his lips. Since he was smaller, he was on top, performing with the determined athleticism of a Triple Crown jockey until his body was covered in sweat. Okay, we can stop there on that. You get the idea. When Evan had a growth spurt a few months later, our sexual dynamic changed. I broke up with him and embarked on a string of repulsive dates with older boys throughout high school, before realizing my true attractions lagged several years behind. Okay, this is her getting ready for her first day teaching class. She's prepping herself, I guess you could say. That night I'd taken such pains to... We got it. That night I'd taken such pains to set myself up perfectly, inside and out, like a model home ready for viewing. My legs, underarms, and pubis had been shaved and then creamed. Every lotion applied bore the scent of strawberries. I wanted my body to seem made of readily edible fruit. I mean, if I had only read that part, like, well, that's actually kind of nice. Very feminine, very, very clean. You can almost smell the strawberries. But then you realize she's doing it for a bunch of 14-year-olds, and you're like, what the fuck? A second boon was that I was able to get an extended... First sentence, right out the gate. We got it. I just learned to read like last year. So, I mean, you're going to have to grade on a curve here. I was an iPad baby. I'm a recovering iPad baby. And I'm trying my best. A second boon was that I was able to get an extension classroom. These were basically trailers behind the school, but they had doors that locked. And particularly if the loud window AC unit was running, it was impossible to hear what was going on inside. So they're basically trapping all of these 14-year-old children in a shipping container with a pedophile. Or at least they have AC. That's nice. Having a mobile classroom meant that I could truly make it my own. I put up opaque curtains, brought in my favorite perfume and spritzed it onto them, as well as onto the cloth seat of my rolling desk chair. Though I didn't yet know which of my male 8th grade English students would be my favorites, I guessed based on name and performed a small act of voodoo. reaching up my dress to the clear ink pad between my legs, wetting my fingertip, and writing their names upon the desks in the first row, hoping by some magic they'd be conjured directly to those seats, their hormones reading the invisible script their eyes couldn't see. Well, she's definitely all in on her interests. You can't take that away from her. Okay, this is the morning of the first day of school. And I can imagine she's pretty excited. By 5 a.m. the morning of our first day at school, anticipation was making me feverish. I knew it. Running the water for a shower, I lifted one foot up onto the countertop to look between my legs, inspecting my sex until the mirror fogged up and censored it from view. Okay, when she gets to school and she meets the faculty, she's kind of like, bubbly and happy. She's trying to portray herself as like a wholesome, friendly, just glad to be here, glad to be part of the team. We're all in this together to shape these young minds. She's pretty much tricking everybody, except for another teacher named Janet Feinlog, I think is her name. Janet Feinlog. And she's like she's kind of like the older, bitter, jaded type of teacher. Like all the teachers we had. She's just been through way too many classrooms of these little fucking monsters. And she just hates her job. She fucking hates it. She smokes cigarettes and she hates children. So right here, Celeste Price is watching her students enter the classroom. My heart sank as I watched two goofy girls entwine hands and run up to the door of my classroom. From the roster, I knew I had 10 boys in the first period, 12 girls. I tried to steel myself. Even if there weren't any suitable options in the first period, I had 4 other classes, and each one brought more opportunities. So she is just straight up hunting little boys here. I mean, she might as well be wearing like a ghillie suit at this point. I mean, she is hunting. I guess the strawberry cream that she's applied to her skin is kind of like her ghillie suit. And it makes her smell like a strawberry. Nobody ever thinks a strawberry is going to rape them. Okay, so she finds a boy in her class that she has targeted. I was going to say that she likes, but that would imply that, that there's interest in a relationship type thing. No, she has targeted this young boy, and his name is Jack Patrick. There was a hesitant politeness to his movements. He started to grab a notebook from his bag, second-guessed himself, looked around to see if others had taken out notebooks, and only then bent over to unzip his backpack. I could imagine him pausing with the same demure reluctance as he took down the side zipper of my skirt. Okay, we got the point there. So that's chapter 1.